Hello viewers, welcome to Sir Samuel's YouTube channel. Sir Samuel's YouTube channel, welcome. It is at Sir Samuel 24 on YouTube. Sir Samuel 24 on YouTube. Please subscribe and share. Please subscribe and share. In today's lesson, we are coming to talk about booting. 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 So we shouldn't waste my time. Let's just get started. So what is booting? What is booting? Booting is the process of turning on the computer, or booting is the process of starting the computer. So booting is the process of starting the computer, or booting is the process of turning on the computer. So the process in which your computer passes through, or the stages or the sequence in which your computer passes through before it gets to your desktop. The desktop view of the computer. Then we say your computer has boot. So booting is the process of turning on your computer, turning on, not off. Some bring off. Booting is the process of turning on and off the computer. No, if you are turning off the computer, it's not booting. So booting is only when you are turning on your computer. So let's get into the types of booting. Okay, so you said proper ways to turn on your computer. Proper ways to turn on your computer. So how should we turn on our computer? What are the ways in which, or the steps in which we use it to turn on the computer? So it says make sure all necessary cables are connected to the right ports. So what are the necessary cables? It will be your power cable, it will be your VGA cable, and it will be your peripheral devices. I said keyboard is meant for booting, because some Windows you need your keyboard before you can start the proper Windows or boot it properly. So you need your peripheral device. So your power cable, which will give you electric power, your VGA cable. VGA stands for video graphic array. So that displays, or the visual, it displays the visual of the computer for you to see. Yeah, so you need that one too. Then you need your power cable. So the next one is connect the power cables, both the system unit and the monitor, to the main socket or extension, and switch it on. So you have to give one of the power cables to the monitor and one also to the system unit, so that you can switch them on. So after you have done that, then press the power button of the system unit and the monitor. So if you're able to do that, I'm sure that your computer will boot. So let's move on. Then after doing this, so note, after doing this, and the process the computer passes through before the operating system load and displays to the desktop view of the computer, is termed as booting. So after doing all this, your power cable, inserting your VGA cables, connecting them, your peripheral devices, connecting both to the monitor and the system unit, then pressing on both the power buttons of the system unit and the monitor. Doing all this, and when it loads, or the Windows loads, then you have the display view of the computer. Then we can say that you have boot your computer, or booting has taken place. So that's it with booting. So the types the types the types so types of booting. So we have warm booting and we have cold booting. We have warm booting and we have cold booting, warm booting and cold booting. So booting has two types. We have warm booting and we have cold booting. So what is warm booting? So what is warm booting? So warm booting is the process of restarting the computer without necessarily shutting down the power completely. It's the process of restarting the computer without necessarily shutting down the power completely. So warm booting is also known as rebooting or restarting. When you restart your computer, you have practiced warm booting. So when you are restarting your computer, you see that the computer do not necessarily shut down. You see, the power is still on, but the computer will reboot. The computer will reboot, or the computer will restart without turning off the computer or without losing its electrical power. So it will restart. You see, let's continue. We will have some ways or steps in restarting the computer. So it is also known as rebooting, as I said. It is also known as rebooting. So how to restart or reboot your computer? How to restart or reboot your computer? So step one, left click on the start button or press the Windows key on your keyboard. So you left click on the start button, then you left click with the mouse on the start button, then or you can press the Windows key on your keyboard, or you can press the Windows key on your keyboard. So that's the step one. Step two, go to power and left click on the power button or icon. So left click on the power button or power icon. So you go to power, you see the power button there. So you click on it or you left click on it so that it will open another pop-up menu. So in that pop-up menu, you select or highlight and click on the restart because we are rebooting. We are doing warm booting. So you select and click on restart. Then you restart. So if you do that, you have practiced warm booting. Or we have another way. Press on Alt F4. Alt means alternative key. So alternative key plus F4. Please not plus. So is you press on the Alt key. You don't release your hand. So you press and hold on the Alt key. Then you click also on F12. So when you do that, a pop-up menu will come. Then you select restart from the pop-up menu. So you select restart from the pop-up menu. Then you hit enter or left click on OK. Then you are good to go. So if you do that, you see that your computer will say restarting. The restarting will start loading. So if you do that, you have practiced booting. You have practiced booting. If you do that, you have practiced booting. So let's move on to so I say make sure you've closed all running programs on your computer before you practice um, warm booting. So let's move on to cold booting. So cold booting, cold booting. Cold booting is the process of turning on the computer for the first time of the day. Or cold booting involves starting the computer from a completely powered off state. So or a powered down state. So one cold booting is actually when you have switched off the computer when you have switched off the computer, it doesn't have any electrical power again. When you switch off the computer, then you switch it on again, or you switch it back, then you practice cold booting. So from a completely powered off state, computer no what doom no cry no what doom no nana say what usually what doom na what sorry afli ho no. So what's abetena ho na what's so you see why cold booting. So from a completely powered off state is cold booting, or turning it off for the first time of the day. Why cold booting? So the difference between cold booting and warm booting is that with the warm booting, the power is not necessarily off. The power is still on. The computer is still on, but it will reboot, or it will start again. That's why we say restart. But with the cold booting, the power is off. The computer is off. There's no power in the computer. So you just power it back, then you turn it on. So if you do that, you have practiced cold booting. So that's the difference between cold booting and warm booting. So let's continue. So I said how to properly shut down the computer. How to properly shut down the computer. How do we properly shut down our computer? So what are the steps? You said close all running programs on the computer, because you want to shut it down. So close all running programs. When you don't shut or you don't close all your running programs, when you click on the shutdown button, you see that the computer will, or the shutting down will pause. Then it will give you an alert message saying this programs or this program or this program is still running. Do you want to shut it down anyway or cancel? Then you go and close that program. So in order not to get that, some apps don't allow the shutting down to happen. It actually stops the shutting down. So you just close all running programs, then you click on the start button. You click on the start button and click, I mean left click, or you press the Windows key on the keyboard, then you go select and click on the power button. So as we did to the rebooting or the restart, then from the pop-up menu containing sleep, shut down and restart. Some computers only contain only shut down and restart, but with computers that have has the complete drivers installed on a computer, you see that you have the sleep, you have shut down, and you have restart. So you click on shut down because we are shutting down the computer. So select and click on shut down. If you do that, you see that the computer is shutting down. Or another, press Alt key plus F4 again. From the pop-up menu, select shut down. Then press the enter key or click on OK to shut down your computer. So hit the enter key or press on the OK from the pop-up menu. Then if you do that, you see that your computer is shutting down. So this is where we end today's lesson. Thank you for watching. This is Sir Samuel at Sir Samuel 24 on YouTube. Please subscribe and share. Please subscribe and share. Thank you. We out.